I don't have,
Here, I'm gonna take a picture and send it to an agenda.
Hey, that's a good idea.
yeah, that is fine.
Well, no, you should have it anyway, right? So you know what we're doing?
Sure.
Okay. I'm sending it to you. Okay. Okay. There we go. And what's on the other page? No, okay, there's nothing on it.
No,
Okay.
nothing really on the back.
You should get it
Did you send it to my phone or to my email?
to your phone. Do you want,
Okay.
I can send it to your email.
No, I've got my phone in my hand, it should work, but,
All right, so we ready?
Yeah.
yep.
All right, so it's 5:05. We're gonna get the July 15th Selectmen's meeting going. It's myself, Dale, and Jody's president. Mike is actually on speakerphone, so just so he's informed of what we're doing. So you can open up with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So item number 2, approval of minutes. We have May 20th, June 17th, and June 22nd.
Make a motion to approve all three as read.
Second. Vote. All in favor? Item 3, review of the treasurer warrants, payroll 51, 52, accounts payable 53.
Make a motion to approve both A and B.
Second. Vote. All in favor? Open session, nobody present. Whole business,
Didn't put any on there.
okay, we're good. New business. A is animal control officer appointment.
We need to appoint Jerry Sudbury. I think it ran out right after town meeting, so.
So do I have to make a motion to, or no?
Do we make a motion? Yeah, let's just do it in the way.
Yeah.
Make a motion to appoint Gary Sudsbury for the animal control officer for whatever the dates are on
It's for the entire year,
for
right?
the year.
Yeah.
Second. Vote. All in favor? B, Hamlin Associates contracts.
We had that at budget time, so, and it's the same amount as last year. Budget hasn't changed. It runs from July to August. August to July.
Yep, yep.
August to July. So I figured we'd approve it now since August is coming right up.
Okay.
So, I'll make a motion to accept the Hamlin Associates contract for this coming,
From August to.
August 2020 to July 2021.
Correct.
Second. Vote. Approved. All in favor? C, cemetery deeds.
Well, there's supposed to be 2, but there's only 1. That's for Laura and Todd Reed in the Jackman Cemetery. They bought lot 72A. I did my mother-in-law's out as well, but she put John on the deeds, so he's gonna take him off. And then John and I are going to buy 2 lots beside it, but
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to sell this deed? No. Grant
I guess.
grant this cemetery deed,
Same thing.
right, to, for 72A in the, which, Jackman Corner, Cemetery.
Second. So vote. All in favor? Item 7, abatement and supplement. So it's an abatement of $175.64 in 2020 property tax map lot 23880099 as requested by Josh Moran, our assessor's agent, because the trailer belongs to another owner and they should have received a new tax bill. So that's A, and then B is a supplement of the same exact amount of money per Josh, where it's just reading the same thing again, sorry.
Oh, it's a two,
It's, just to make sure that we tax the new one.
Oh, so, okay, but it's
what
not
is-
actually specifically mentioning the new owner, that's what I was,
Yeah.
okay.
I didn't put their names on there, it's on the,
Oh, one's an
On the
abatement,
supplement.
one's supplement.
Okay.
I gotcha.
All right,
okay.
now I understand, sorry.
Yep. No,
Emma's not gonna pay
you
it.
read it.
It's like,
and
look.
the new owner is going to pay.
Okay,
Got
then there's another supplement of $1,888 in 2020 property tax, map lot 521, as requested by Josh Moore, our assessor agent, as a property owner withdrew 2 acres from tree growth classification on 6/18 of 2020 and is supplemented to the 2020 warrant date of 6/29/20.
Okay, so do we need to make a motion to accept all of these?
Yes,
Make a motion to accept all of these abatements and supplements, A and B.
second. Vote, all approved. Town manager report?
I was gonna give you election results, but I don't know any of the results. I know we had a good day, we had over 200 people come through, no major problems.
I did like the plexiglass the state provided.
State provided.
That was pretty nice.
Nice shields, are they still in the corner? No, I guess.
Yeah,
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 they're by
they
the
are.
Oh,
sign.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
they
so
stand
they-
by themselves?
Yeah, there's 2
yeah.
upright pieces and those set, and then there's a slot in the middle so you
Yeah,
can
the
slide.
state provided the plexiglass, hand sanitizer, pens, wipes to wipe the pens down after each. We only had one issue, I put a sign out here that said for the line to go this way,
Mm-hmm.
so some people tried to come around the corner and come in the outdoor, so I had
Oh.
to take it down, but we never had, that would be like 10
Yeah, we kinda
people.
always go that way.
Yeah, and when we had people at the town office, we'd have them go out through the library, handful of people.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, that all worked well. We were here till 10 o'clock last night counting
Wow.
votes and.
And I noticed you guys closed off some of them, so that way
yeah,
everybody,
Social distancing.
Yeah.
We've used 3 out of the 5.
yeah,
We had people stand on those lines coming in, these lines going out.
mm-hmm.
Great, great.
I know I was here for a little bit, it seemed to me it was working good.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody seemed to be good.
I don't know any of the results. Do you know how the school?
I have not heard anything about the school actually.
I called and
I
nobody
believe
answered, so I figured they'd call it a
Locally,
day.
I'm pretty sure Paul,
I didn't hear anything, not a word.
In Sangerville, he certainly,
yeah, I'm pretty sure he did win.
Yeah.
But I
He
did.
did.
He
He
did?
did?
Almost did.
Did you hear anything about, I was wondering about how the sheriff's department made out.
That was odd, the way it was written, a person wouldn't know that there had been a donation.
Nope.
Right.
right?
Yeah, and I don't know if that was intentional or not, but, I mean, I'm sure it carried, because
Our voters carried it,
All
but I don't know what
carries, but-
everybody else did.
Yeah.
I'm not very pro-referendum, so.
Well, it's interesting, because I didn't know that, why did they leave it on the ballot? Or because it was on the ballot already?
Yeah, I believe so. I guess it was more of a,
Well, they have to, because I would, and this is an assumption, which I probably shouldn't do, but even though somebody's donating the money, they didn't donate the building. So, as a county, you would still have to,
Oh.
you would
very-
have to write a check to buy that, and then they're just donating X amount of money, which is great, but it would actually just carry with us, it'd go
Yeah.
back into general fund.
yeah.
You can't actually donate the money with
Right.
the purpose of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I kinda
Could be.
would assume.
I think you're right, Dale, but it just was interesting, I mean, if a person didn't know, it might have swayed their vote.
Oh, I think I definitely, if I would've, or I think if we would've written that, there would be a parentheses at the bottom that we are receiving a donation of,
Right, right.
But it might
Yeah,
have been
some
too late.
acknowledgement.
yeah, I mean, there would've been something, what's that?
Might have been too late. I mean, we might have had
Oh, it could've been, I mean,
the ballots
Yeah.
before they ever got the,
very true,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, the donation was only in the, last 2 or 3 weeks, so,
yeah,
I mean, this has been an ongoing thing,
yeah.
so, but,
So, let's see. The park closure. I had an interesting conversation with my mother, who was a school superintendent, and we were talking about liability, and she said that in one of the districts she worked in, a local church group decided to use the school's playground and the child was injured, and the church was sued, the school was sued, and the school had to pay
Mm-hmm,
for the accident, even though they hadn't given permission for
right.
the church. So I'm kind of leaning towards leaving it closed. I also talked to, one of the sheriff's deputies came in, and I talked to them about, you know, policing the activities there, and he said obviously they can't. And
Correct.
if there was a real issue and I called, they would obviously go over and deal with it, but they,
Yeah,
they
until
don't-
we ever
they don't
get to
have
the,
personnel to even
Nope.
Right, no.
to do that.
until we get to see what the official new normal is gonna be, I'm not,
Right.
myself, I'm not worried
Yeah.
about it.
No.
I mean,
And there are other fields open, so
Yep.
if that's the way,
yep,
yeah. And then I got to talk to a lot of people yesterday. I talked to Wilson Newt about the Gilman Cemetery. He says, we don't own it. He says it is a family cemetery, so how we ended up mowing it, I don't know. He said if we were not going to mow it anymore, he would mow it, but I can't imagine in the grand scheme of things it adds much to the mowing budget because it's pretty small, but.
But if we don't own it, I
Yeah,
don't think we can spend money on it.
true,
that's the question, that's the bigger thing.
true, but, so now I'll have to actually prove, I'll have you.
We're gonna have to
begin
find
the-
out if we do or we don't,
How long have we been mowing it?
forever.
Forever?
Long time,
Kind of like maintaining a private road.
It's pretty close.
yeah.
You're spending
Yeah.
funds on private something.
Yeah.
And where there was an issue this spring, because
Well, that's, yeah, I mean,
I'll keep looking. Wilson thought he had some documentation somewhere.
Now, did he bring it up to you?
No, I brought it up to him. I mean, I was out here just.
Right, and what did you
reading and
say?
talking. I said, so I hear we had some issues over at the Gilman Cemetery. And he said, yeah, and I said, does the town own that? Is it an old cemetery that somehow got turned over to the town? And he's like, well, I think it's just a family cemetery, but, and he has a document somewhere written by somebody who lived in that part of town, documenting.
well, it'd be interesting, what about, I mean, it's under his daughters now, but like Graham's property,
Yeah,
you would think there'd be something in his deed.
I can look. I
Yeah.
didn't to look at Graham's deed, but.
It has to be separately deeded, just like,
That's what I'm saying, but I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you read Graham's deed,
it might be in there.
there has to be
Right.
something, cause he owns all the way around it.
Okay.
So, I mean,
it's
if-
probably in his deed.
If it's in anybody's, it's gotta be something verbiaged about, you know, there's gotta be an easement to it and
Yep.
X amount of feet and whatever, however, it's gotta be something in there.
Because the issue was how the mowing contractor was crossing the field, because they're haying it and they didn't want
Right.
their hay all messed up.
Anyway, it'd be interesting when you find out, for sure.
So, a little update there. The tax is coming in. Until today, we were ahead. We are behind today because CoreLogic, since it's a $125,000 check every year, and it hasn't come in yet. But until today, we were ahead of what we took in last year.
Oh,
And if the CoreLogic check had come in, we would still be ahead by, oh, $70,000?
wow.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've been averaging 70 to 90,000 ahead
Wow.
of last year, so.
Have you had a chance to look back to see how long ago we were to be at this mill rate we're at now?
Oh, I looked, shoot, where did I see that? Where was it? It was a long time ago.
That's why, I think you gotta go back quite a ways to
Yeah,
get
where
to where
did
we
it,
are.
it was right in front of me, where was it?
It's just, it'd be an
I'll find
interesting
it.
number.
I'll find it again.
We've had a lot of people call and say, what were my taxes last year?
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be like, pull it up and like, that's what I thought.
It'd be kinda neat, you know, if on your tax bill, if you had your number and then beside it, compared to last year. So that way,
Only if you're going in the right direction. direction.
Well, either way, it is what it is, but at least, cause like I said, I've had one of my neighbors that's hit me up last fall about it, well, geez, taxes always go up, it's like, no, they haven't.
No, check, yeah, no, no.
People forget last year's,
Yeah, yeah,
but anyway,
yeah. I'll find that and I'll send it to you, Dale.
That was all I had on my list.
we'll keep going, you're doing good.
Okay, road commissioner. East Sangerville Road should be finished by,
Paving?
Yeah,
Ooh.
had some complaints over the week with the dust but,
What are you gonna do?
well, I could have,
Oh,
there was a point I could have got calcium on it, but it was right before they were gonna spread gravel, so it's like, that would be a waste. And then it rained.
oh, thank God.
And then people would call and then it rained, and so it's almost done. Brownie should be finished tonight. Friday, they're coming back to do over on Silver's Mills, the culvert that
Okay.
Lawson fixed.
yeah,
I asked him to do it while he was calling here, but he said he didn't want to use the big roller. He's gonna bring a small roller over, and while he does that, I had one on Flanders Hill replaced this spring, so he's gonna do that for me, and there's a spot where the pavement had given way, so he's gonna do those two when he comes back on Friday. Striping should occur next week.
nice,
Yeah, Tom McPeters is nice and clean
Yeah. And
from all that rain.
And Steve Lucas and I have been talking, and he thought he could get, he's watching the weather, and
Yep, good.
he'll be here either the end of this week or next week.
Good. Wow.
I have somebody to brush cut the landfill. Don Heppen's gonna do that for me. Another year if 300.
nice,
Yeah, that's not bad.
yeah, no,
Another
that's cheap.
year if he doesn't do it. Rob Sukas also is, has insurance and has the equipment, and he was about twice as much, but still I don't think that's bad.
That's not bad either, no,
Right, right.
If you get what
no,
you-
I didn't think you'd get it for
Yeah.
that,
Well, I looked, I think it was over 1,000 last year.
that's what I was,
So when I said.
Well, that's what I
When
was-
he said 300, I said, when can you do it? He says he can't do it this week because he was doing something for Parkman, but he can do
Sure.
it next
Good.
week.
that's a good
Do
deal.
they bush hog it or they mow it?
They're going to have to bush hog it because there are pines that are
Oh.
nearly 4 inches.
Yep.
Okay.
And so,
This, after this year, they'll be able to.
Right.
right, and they'll just,
Yep,
so. Let's see what else. Oh, brush cutting. I've talked to half a dozen people. Nobody has gotten back to me yet in terms of Michael Mace. I
Yep.
finally got a hold of him.
yep,
He says he'll look at it and he'll get back to me by Friday.
okay,
I got a hold of Irish Trucking. He has about the same equipment as Mace does. He says he'll do it for 100 an hour, and he went to look at, I sent him to Silver's Mills. I think that's the worst one, right?
well,
right now.
Silver's and some on French's Mills and,
No, there's some.
but I mean, the only thing about French's Mills, you get the cemetery cleaned up.
I haven't, I'm gonna call.
No, but I'm saying they can do that,
They could,
they're right there with the truck and pulp loader, all them big pieces, you could get that all in one shot.
yep. Or I can get John Douglas to do it, and he has somebody who would take it as firewood. But either way,
I don't care, as long as we get it cleaned out.
yep, I don't,
I
as
mean,
long as somebody.
isn't that all pine?
It is pine,
It's all pine.
yeah.
Is
It's
it
an outside
livable?
stove.
Oh, okay, alright.
It's an outside
Either, I mean, yeah, either way, I don't care, as
Yeah.
long as we get it cleaned up and it's whatever's cost effective.
Yeah, so Irish, I called Blue Tree, they do roadside, chipping.
Mhm.
They have a truck, they chip, they're 3 men for $2.25 an hour, yeah. Our aggressive cuts, they have a big machine that they bought that will, and they do it $1,000 a mile.
Now, when you say that, what's he got for a machine? Does he have like the flail
He has,
on an excavator?
he has, I've got a picture of it.
Do you remember the distance, Mike, we did on your road?
Boy, I think we did close to 3 miles.
But that's 3 miles up and then 3 miles back. You did both
Yep.
sides, right?
6 miles.
This is a picture.
Oh, 3
of
miles.
machinery.
3 miles of road on both sides.
Gotcha. Oh, that's
But I was thinking
Might have been more.
if we plan maybe some year
How much is this guy?
$1,000 a mile.
Now, how many miles you gotta give him before he gives you?
You have to do 3 miles.
So $1,000 a mile, is that both sides of the road? Or is it running mile? Because,
Yeah, I don't know.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. I didn't pursue it because I went.
Oh, that's, I pay
But
that
it's
all
a-
day.
But it's a thought for,
You mean
Yeah,
if
but-
it's both sides?
I would consider it even on one side. You figure 3 guys with a chipper at $2.25 an hour. Mike, so what we're looking at is,
Oh, here, I can take a picture.
yeah,
and
you
send
need a
it
picture
to
of this. This is like a rubber, it's a rubber tired excavator.
You know, that's funny, because I got Zach down here cleaning up my ski trails, and his excavator, of course, has got, you know, metal tracks. And I'm thinking that's not very good on your road in August.
no.
Right, we used it before, but it was froze.
It was January.
Yeah.
How big
And
would
in
you
fact,
say?
it didn't leave a mark.
I guess
on the
that's
road
4
that I
feet,
could,
5,
you know,
I don't think it's 5, would you?
It didn't damage the road.
I mean, it's
but
deceiving,
don't
I'm
think
going
it'll
by
work all
this.
summer.
Right,
It
right.
sits in there somewhere.
Does it? Is this all this, or you want me to
So is
see it?
this, what is that, Dale? Is that a rubber tired
That's
excavator?
what it looks like to me. I don't know what else you would call
Did you
that.
get it, Mike, the picture?
It'll come.
Okay.
Heavy dense brush from the sides of the road. The equipment will be able to limb and take trees up to 8 inches from the roadside. We know that brush is a problem, and we think we have come up with a solution. Attached are pictures of the equipment and the forestry head. We're also purchasing a 71-inch mower head with a 24 hammer teeth. The brush removal
Where are
will
these
be,
guys out of?
this is Aggressive Cuts, who does our roadside mowing.
Herman, Maine.
Oh, cool. Wow, these guys are making an investment.
Yeah,
Interesting.
the brush removal will be at the price of $1,000 per mile, and we would like to have a minimum of 3 miles. The roadside mowing price is the same.
I'm telling you, if that was, especially if that was both sides of the road for $1,000 a mile.
I don't think it's gonna be, but I agree with you. If it
Yeah,
is,
but I mean, you look at that machine, Mike, he's gonna roll.
Yeah.
Now, Dale, does that grind it up? Do you have to clean it up after that?
I think you're gonna, I don't believe that head is much different than what Eric's used. Do you, Mike? I mean, you're seeing what Eric's using.
it hasn't arrived yet,
It hasn't, okay.
so.
Yeah, it's just their mowers.
I would be, yeah.
That's some sort of
Okay,
sleeper.
well, so we gotta find that out, right?
Yeah.
So that would be the one question, and just, you could actually just word it that we've tried some mechanical means in the past, and we had a debris in the road issue, and just ask that if we had them come in, you know, are they, and my other question would be, are they doing high and low branches? Because especially on my road, I mean, I'd like to, anything they could reach, get it, because.
Right. Well, how big a swath are they planning on doing
Oh, yeah.
vertical?
And so would they do vertical as well as?
Yeah, so I mean, if we got a limb that's hanging 12 feet out near the road, are they gonna be able to hit that limb all the way to the ground? You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, so we've got a lot of issues.
Yeah.
But I think if you could have something like that go through, and we still may end up going with one of your other guys and do some of that 225 work, because we're gonna have some things that he's not gonna be able to get, but
Yep.
I bet, I mean, that's
That might
that's
do
an
it.
impressive piece of machinery.
Yeah, that's basically the same style head that, Zach was using.
Sure.
Did it go through, Mike? You got a picture of it? Okay.
Yep. But, no, that's a good rig for paved road, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So
And he's got a lot of reach there.
Did we pay, why do I wanna think it was around $5,000 or something when we did your road?
I thought, actually, if I was gonna shoot a guess of $6,000, which
$1,000 a mile.
I think we did more than 3, both sides. We probably did closer to 4 miles both sides, so.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
the price was awesome. I had no problem with the price. It was a debris.
Correct.
Right.
Yep, 100%.
Yep.
Yep. And I honestly wouldn't mind paying a little bit more if we could get the results that we all think we need.
Yep.
So,
yeah, so I have these guys going out because I wanted to know, A, is it something they think they can do? Because both of them said, well, we'll go look at it. And the tree company said, let them know, but they're pretty well booked.
Well, I mean, once we even get our roadside done, I mean, you take, even my road especially, there's that one stretch down through there, right after right around and after the guy that's got all the tires. I mean, there's a lot of old dead trees that are just standing there, I mean.
Yeah.
And and even the ones that aren't dead, they're all kinda, they're not that bad at the base, but you look up and they're all rolling right up over the road. So,
Just a matter of time.
we have slacked, I would say, for the last 10 years on getting this done.
And that's why they are the way they are.
Right, I think if we could figure out I mean, we're not gonna get it all done in 1 year, but we really need to be figuring out a way to get a little more proactive on it.
I can tell you based on what they're doing down back, is there's a little bit of an art to this. The young fellow's doing my trails. He picks the side of the road that he's doing based on the direction the thing's spinning, so that the debris doesn't end up,
So it kicks
it's up, but he's trying to shoot it out into the woods, which I thought was kind of creative. And he's actually done a pretty good job considering where he's going, so.
Yep.
That makes sense.
What I like is that these guys are doing our mowing,
Right.
so
Yeah.
they're not going to leave a mess.
Right.
That's a
wouldn't
good-
allow them to mow.
That's a very good point. Yeah, they don't wanna ruin their mowing blades.
Yeah, they know what the finished product has to look like.
Yep, that's a very good point. Cause they're the guy coming in after.
I certainly would support giving them a shot,
Yep,
as long as they
100%.
understand that they can't leave anything in the road.
Right.
And that, I mean,
right. Yeah,
I mean,
because the Silver Mills Road is a tunnel now.
oh my gosh.
and honestly, when you go to the Dexter end, it's actually worse.
Is it?
Yeah, when you're coming in from Dexter, it's not super long, but it's maybe a quarter of a mile piece, you can't even be in, if you're in your lane, you're whacking the whole time.
Yeah, in fact, it's actually worse in the little village area there.
That's where I
Close
mean,
to the main
yep.
street. It's horrible, but the road is twisty,
Yep,
and you're cutting a lot of material that's on people's lawns. I mean, I could see where it's not, it's not something they really want to address, but. But yeah, that looks like a good rig. That's impressive.
I like the rubber tire idea, like Mike said, that'd be way better on hot top.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess, I don't know, I mean, it'd be, whatever, it is what it is,
Well, some of these things we don't know until we try it.
that's,
Yeah.
it's worth $3 grand to find out.
We know we need to do some cutting over there. I'd say green light him for 3 miles or whatever. And if you end up having to hire somebody to come up and clean them after them, then we probably won't use them again. But
No, I think for 3,000, we ought to have that conversation and make sure we don't have to.
Yeah,
Just let him
Yeah, I
know,
agree.
we've tried this in the past and this was the problem we had, so.
right.
And we just need to make sure that that's not gonna be an issue, so. And if you do a good job, there's definitely a few more miles in Sangerville
Oh,
that we can get done, so.
yeah, oh, yeah.
well, you could be here every year
Right,
doing something.
right.
Well, that's what I mean, but if we had that right equipment doing the right kind of job, we could actually make a plan. It's all right, we really need to do 5 or 10 miles or get a rotation going to get it done,
Yep.
so. And the more of that we do, the more they can actually cut when they're doing roadside mowing, so.
Yep.
I can tell you, you will not believe what that piece of equipment can do in terms of killing trees. It's unbelievable.
Well, I've got a very baby version on mine, and I'm telling you, I can make, with my flail head, I can make a sizable tree that you wouldn't think that would touch and make it disappear. So,
That thing will grind up telephone poles.
Wow, geez, wow.
yeah.
All right, well, 8 inches.
And anything else? I had somebody go out and put out some stakes on the line road so I can get some contractors to give me quotes on the same piece of
Yep,
road. And I'm waiting to hear on that. And Seth has given me a quote for East Sangerville to finish the ditching. I was hoping Zach would, and
yep, figure out
a
which
couple
way.
other
Yep.
people, and we'll go from there.
Good.
Bridie, remember, if you've got material and if you need a place to get rid of it, Mr. Dobson was looking for some. So
Okay.
I don't know that you'll need a home for it, but if you do, I just want to remind you that
Yes,
he was looking for
I'll
something.
remember that. So, that's the end of my road commissioner's report.
Okay, correspondence?
I've got none down here, but I did have a phone conversation with Dan Hall, and he wanted me to let you know that he's complaining because we have no public works. And the issue is this brush cutting the roadside.
100%.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Yep,
so we're,
So that's it.
okay.
okay,
I agree with Dan.
100%.
Yep.
I agree we need to get brush cutting done. I don't agree that we don't have public works.
I agree, we don't
Yeah,
have.
he's conflating the issues, but we do need to cut the brush.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
I remember what we
In
got,
fact, we're gonna cut a lot more brush than we would have under any other method if this thing works.
Good.
well, I was
I
just,
wanna go watch it.
I was just gonna reference it, I remember how many hours that we spent when we had public works and 2 employees, and we cut brush for quite a few weeks in a row,
And rented chippers.
and then rented a chipper, and that sat the whole time because we didn't even put hardly anything on it for hours. Because
I say
we didn't cut enough brush to use
Don't
it.
lie, do they, Dale?
What's that?
I said the hours on the chipper don't lie.
No, it did not, so. So yes.
Yeah,
So we know that this is definitely a more cost-effective way to do this.
Yeah.
So, all right, request for additional agenda items?
Yeah, I just wanted to, I called MMA specifically on, we've been talking about our, the ambiguity of our property maintenance ordinance in that we don't specifically cite what the fine schedule might be, range or frequency. And their view is we need to amend it. Long story short, if we ended up litigating one of these things and that point was brought up, she said you might not prevail.
Okay.
okay.
So I'm not sure how this came about. That ordinance, it says it was done by the planning board. Because she suggested that, an ordinance like that, we probably ought to run it by the town's attorney. There definitely is statute that allows us to fine. We just need to, we should be clear as to what people can expect, and the town needs to approve it. So we'd have to have an amendment to this ordinance.
I'm just, my other side, I fully agree with what you're saying, but I'm just really wondering, with the way our ordinance is written, it's not really written in any manner to say what you're defining, what your ordinance is about.
They
Well,
purposely
it
left
is,
there.
there's no question, there's one phrase there about nuisance that's kind of broad. But the statute that we cite in our ordinance, NMA agreed that was the statute that allows us to create an ordinance of this type.
Yep.
She did say to me that there are junkyards and there's your health officer. There's other avenues that you can go down, but I'm just thinking of 2 or 3 properties that specifically this really addresses, and I think we're free to enforce it. We just need to be aware that if we end up in court, we probably would lose.
Well,
So
I would rather take myself and send it off to the attorney and get some
I
proper
agree.
verbiage
Well,
and get it amended.
I'm a little surprised that the planning board signed off on this, but that's what it says.
If I remember correctly, code enforcement was working on it with them, so.
The weird thing about this document is the bottom of it says 71, like it's page 71. So like it was pulled out of something. And I checked a couple other ordinances. I had never read it, and I would suggest that you read it if you're just looking for an interesting read. We have a public indecency ordinance, and that ordinance does spell out exactly what the fines can be.
Huh?
Yeah.
So, and that was about the same time, I think. It was 2010.
I think one was 1 year, one was the following, wasn't it? I don't think it was
Yeah,
both.
well, the indecency one was a special meeting. It was
Okay.
kind of like an emergency thing.
Yeah,
But anyway,
Well, everybody's
we need
afraid
to
there's
address
gonna
that.
be a topless bar in town.
Right,
Oh,
That's what that-
what?
yeah.
That's why it's through.
that's why that pushed through. It's gonna be way out of town too, and everybody, it's like,
Oh my
Anyway.
goodness.
yeah,
Oh, so they had specific special for that?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, read
100%.
definitions when you get a chance, it's quite fascinating. So that's all I got.
Okay.
All right?
yep, selectmen's concerns? None, we're good? Executive session,
No,
we're good?
make motion to adjourn?
Second, vote? All in favor? What do we got? 5:43? I like 5:43 better.